What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, or should I say, welcome back to the underground, because the channel is so small. So let's get right down to tax brass or what have you. Let's look at the portfolio. We'll pull it up. So let's look at this. So today, we're up. We're up about a little over 8,600. We're up 14% on the portfolio. Not bad for a day. Palantir had earnings, so that stock's saw a 30% spike. We'll see if the gains hold. We'll see what the new we'll see what the new norm is for Palantir when it comes to price action. I think that they're primed for S&P inclusion. In fact, I think that there's a rebalance for S&P 500 inclusion the middle of next month, if I recall, March 14th or March 15th. So that's something that Palantir shareholders get to look forward to. But overall, we're still up on this portfolio, and I'm happy with its performance. Now, I'm pulling it up because I want to leave things on a good note, as this may be this is the last video I'm gonna post for a while. Maybe it's a one to anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. I'm gonna be going through an actual move. I'm physically moving my house and moving myself to another location. So I'll be going back to Texas pretty soon here. And as soon as I get my desk set up at my house, I'll post up a video there, and you'll see a new background and my new office or what have you. So I'm looking forward to that. Still under the weather, so bear with me as we get through the video. I know it's a little bit of a late posting, so quick little video before night time, as I call it with my girls. So, all right. So Sofi, all right. What's going on with Sofi? So they reported earnings. I posted a video a little bit back, right before earnings, but I didn't follow up with Sofi for a couple of reasons. One major reason was the whole YouTube platform with all the other investor YouTubers were blasting Sofi. So I figured I'd wait a little bit to where it cools off and the attention really wasn't on Sofi. So that way my little voice can be heard a little bit more. Conspiracy stuff happening. All right. So I think that, after everything that I've seen with the analysts, and, just looking around and, just all around in the actual environment when it comes to SoFi, I think something's going on to where the powers to be are going after Noto. So success has many enemies. All right. And with Noto being successful, it's no secret that his performance, his compensation package is consistent of performance-based units for stock options. So, like from what I'm tracking, from what I understand, he needs to hit a target by, he needs the stock price to be up to $25 by 2026. And then there's different brackets and different levels of compensation and how much he gets and so forth. But if he gets the stock up to that level, and it means a lot more. He's disrupting the major banking category. So excuse me. So these banks are used to being backed by the government. They're used to playing by their own rules, not having to give savers interest rates in times of high interest rate environments. No, they don't want Noto to be successful, so they're not going after SoFi. I think they're going after Noto and the management. So, you ever heard this saying, the church is not the building, it's the people in the church? I'm not making this I'm not turning this into a religious thing or something, but that's the metaphor I'm trying to portray. All right, the company is Noto and the management. It's not the actual SoFi building in, California, wherever it is. So um, that company is made up of the leadership there. And Noto rubs shoulders with some of the most powerful banking industry leaders, and he worked at Goldman Sachs. You know, there's past relationship histories that we don't know about. I don't know about. And and these major bankers, these investment bankers in the financial industry, do you think that they're not business sharks that know how business is done? You think that they're just gonna roll over and want to see SoFi succeed? I mean, these analysts, they work for these banks, and so if the stock goes up, here's another thing that can happen. Let's say we have one of those 2021 markets where everything's going up, and SoFi issues a bunch of shares and put a bunch of cash on the balance sheet. Man, that would like propel SoFi to the next level, because a bank is essentially a bank. The service of a bank is letting someone borrow their balance sheet, borrow the bank's balance sheet, because you don't have a balance sheet, or else what's the need for, right? So I mean, how do you win against this? How do I win as an investor? What would I do? All right. Well, I mean, the stock goes up and down, sure, but I really wouldn't even go into margin. I wouldn't go into options with SoFi. Everything is so manipulated with SoFi. If I wanted to see this succeed, I would just dollar cost average every month. Stock dips, excuse me. Stock dips, buy 100 shares here, 100 shares there, 200 shares here, whatever, until it's time for this baby to run. Because the more that Wall Street suppresses this stock price, the more we're going to see like a Tesla-like S-curve on the stock price action. So the longer and the more they suppress the price, the more violently this thing is going to run, and it's going to go to the moon. So I mean, we just got to keep that in mind, because now I'm looking at SoFi and it's looking undervalued now. If the guidance that they've projected is going to hit, all right, their multi-year guidance, that is, and they probably will. They'll probably beat it, actually. So that's the conspiracy theory. I think that this stock is gonna be suppressed for a while. We can see this thing trade in the $7 to $9 range, going up and down in those ranges, maybe for another year and a half, for all we know. I don't have a crystal ball, but looking at the market and the street and how they treat SoFi, this can be a thing where we can see that Tesla-like S-curve with the price. So, yeah. So that's pretty much all I had. I wanted to come on here, say the last hoorah, hey, it might be a week or 2 or 3 before I get on here and make more videos. That's just my take on things. And I'm not selling any shares. I'm a long-term investor, so that's including Palantir and everything. So, yeah, that's all I had. So, thank you all for your support. I'll see you all soon.